Well, good day, students. I want to welcome you to this semester of economics. What I've done is I prepared for you a introduction. We're going to go through Blackboard. We're going to go through how to access your MyLab. We're going to go and talk about your responsibilities in MyLab, the videos that I've created for you, where you're going to be able to find your online tests, etc., etc. So this is sort of one of these must pay attention introduction videos. All right, so let's continue on. So as I said, my name's Cameron Douglas, and I want to, at this point, give you a short history of who I am and what I've done. I've been here at the college since 2012. I teach microeconomics, macroeconomics, statistics, many different finance courses, many different accounting courses. I teach a graduate management information systems course in the BBML program. I also teach a postgraduate management information systems course and a combined micro-macro to our postgraduates. My work history is such that I went to UFT, Victoria College, in the late 70s. Upon leaving there, I worked for many, many different companies. Royal Trust. I worked for Trans-Canada Pipelines. I worked for Scotia McLeod, which became Scotia, McLeod Young Weir, which became Scotia McLeod, which just became integrated into Scotia Bank. Worked for Rogers Communications, worked for Nestle Enterprises, worked for RBC as a vice president of e-business, and then worked for Citigroup, where I was head of technology for Canada. Some people would call that CIO. In between all that, I had military experience of almost 20 years, mostly with the reserves, but a little bit of that time spent with the regular force, doing my regular force duties. All right, so what I'd like to do now is take some time and go over where to find information in Blackboard and how to navigate through what I've set up for you. Once you've logged into Blackboard, you'll notice your homepage or page that comes up for you should be your announcements page. I use this to give you information that I want you to need to know. I might send you articles I want you to read. And by the way, if I send you articles that I want you to read, it's because it's important that you may find those on some of your essay questions. So here I've laid out how to register to get your ebook and register for MyLab. All right. So course information, you'll find that I've put in here your course outline and your syllabus. So this is very important information. Course outline, you may want to print that off and for future employers, etc. Syllabus, when you open it, you'll get this information here, which is, now notice here I've put the 4 CRNs that I'm teaching this semester. Contact information, the fact is in asynchronous course, so we're using YouTube to present the videos. The book that you're using, however, that's also laid out in the announcement that I provided you with. What your grading schedule is, so you have 3 tests worth 25% each. Test 1 is chapters 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 2 is chapter 5, 6, 7, and test 3 is chapter 8, 9, 10. Now, if you do poorly on one of those tests, we have something called the optional comprehensive exam. Optional means it's exactly what it says, optional. You are not forced to write it. However, if you write it and you do better than one of your other 3 tests that you wrote, I will replace that mark with a higher mark. So if you do worse than your other 3 tests, then nothing changes, which means, I can tell you from history that of the 70% that write it, approximately 70% of that 70% do better in the comprehensive test than one of their other three, which means their overall mark is improved. You have your MyLab work that has to be done, so please make sure you do that. That's through the Pearson, but I've hooked it up so that you go through and find the information here in Blackboard. All right. I've laid out when your things are due. Okay, notice, it's asynchronous, so you can review the videos that I prepared on YouTube at your leisure. However, based on your CRN, not based on your CRN, everybody's MyLab work is due for quiz 1, 2, 3, and 4 on June 7th. However, depending on your CRN, you'll either write June 8th, somewhere between June 8th and June 12th. And that time that you will be writing at will be based on the time which is in Banner, which is laid out as if we were in class. It will be conducted during that period of time. So you will be limited as to when you can write your tests. So notice you have a test 1, you have one in week 7, you have one in week 11, and week 12 is your optional comprehensive. All right, so that's basically how things are laid out for the course when it comes to the syllabus. All right, so as I said, that's course information. Here we have, now you won't be able to see this until they're actually due. And the day that your test is due, I will be opening these up. But you can see here, if we open it there, each test consists of 2 sections. A pooled section, which means each of you will essentially get a different test than your friend. And then you have an essay section, which has to be done. All right, so each test 1, 2, 3, all consists of 2 parts. And then we have the optional comprehensive. You won't be able to see these until the date that they're actually due for you to write. All right. Now, where you're going to find your weekly information, what has to be done on the week, or as I say, asynchronously, so you can do it when you want. I've set them up in folders, so weeks 1 through, or chapters 1 through 10. And if you see all the way down here, we've got chapters 1 through 10 and all the information associated with them. So if I was to open up chapter 1, what you're going to see here is the slide deck that you can open to make notes while you're listening to the lecture, which I've put here in the video. By the way, you can't search the video on YouTube. It is restricted only because I have proprietary information which belongs to Pearson. Therefore, it's only available to you through the Blackboard link. And then I have the tests that you're going to be doing. Now, there's one section before week 1, which is called Getting Started. I think I called it. Okay, Getting Started with MyLab. You'll notice that it has a quiz here that you need to do. It is actually worth marks, by the way. So I'm just going to open this up so you can see what you would expect through getting on that link. So you can't do this obviously until such time that you have registered with Pearson. So don't leave it till the last minute. I want you to do this like right away, right? So I'm going to launch, and when I've launched, you'll see that a test comes up, which I will then be able to start. It tells you how many questions. Now, most of your tests are limited to 2 attempts. This Getting Started, I will have to open so that I know that you know how to navigate through the Pearson labs themselves. All right, so that's the way that's been set up. All right, and we'll see that would be the same for, if I go into week 1, I'm not sure if I went through this already, but let's go through week 1. And you can see, as I did, the video, your slide deck, and your chapter responsibilities. If I go to week 2, you'll see the video, the slide deck, and the Pearson Lab. So this is how each one of the weeks have been set up. And as I said, because it's asynchronous, you can do it when you want. However, you must complete your online work by the due date per the syllabus, and your tests, as I said, will be found. You will find them in your online, and they will not be visible until such time as your test has been slated for you and consists of 2 parts each, your multiple choice and your essay questions. All right, so that's essentially how you're going to be able to navigate through. Just wanted to make sure that we understand. I try to respond to your emails in a timely manner, which is hopefully 24 hours or less, to reasonable requests. So an unreasonable request is, when's my test? Take a look at Blackboard. It'll tell you when it is. As I say, don't hold back and get your My Lab done or set up as quick as possible, just to make sure that you've done it correctly and you can access the work assigned to you. But let's go back to emails. When you send me an email, I want you to put your name, your student number, and what day you're taking microeconomics. Don't respond to the do not respond emails when I send something out as an announcement, or as I send something out as an email to a group address. Quite often they say do not respond. Do not respond to it. Set up a new email. Only because when you do that, they get lost with anyone else who does it, and then I miss issues that you may have. When you send an email, make sure that you understand I don't answer emails on the weekend. As I said, 24 hours or less, but if I get an email from you Friday night, I'm not going to answer it. I'm not going to answer it till sometime before Monday night. So make sure that you manage your time and get your work done on time. That'll be very, very helpful to you. All right. So if you have any questions, give me an email. I'm happy to answer them. If you have problems setting up your My Lab, the best thing to do is to go through Pearson, not to contact me to say you're having problems, but other than the fact that you're having a problem, and let me know that you've contacted Pearson so that if I have to, I can apply some pressure towards getting that fixed for you. All right, all the best. And by the way, I'd say I'd like to see you soon. I had put my picture in here. You can, when you're listening to this, it starts out obviously with my picture, so that although I won't probably see you this semester, hopefully come the fall semester, when we run into each other in the halls, you'll know who I am. All right, all the best, and look forward to teaching you microeconomics. Take care.